Hello, E39 source. Just last weekend I did an oil flush, which I do biannually for the summer and the winter. And I have a few really specific reasons for doing so. Uh, During the winter, during the winter, I use BMW high performance motor oil 5W30. This is the BMW official recommended dealer sold oil for all BMW engines in the E39 lineup except for the M5. It is relatively thin oil, and it is the one that the dealer will give you when you do an oil change, except for if you have an M5, which uses 10W60. Now, in the winter, I use it. It's good. It's thick, but for the summer, I actually put in, I don't know if I like this yet because I just put this in, but I put in Rotella T6 synthetic, and it is 5W40. It is a little bit thicker, and my engine definitely does run a little bit quieter. I'm going to use this during the summer. It gets hot. I want to keep that oil pressure. Here's the explanation behind it, and this also goes for the transmission and other parts that I did the same thing with. During the winter, it's cold. When it's cold, oil is thick. When oil is thick, it has a higher viscosity, and it protects your engine well. It has more oil pressure, so in your tolerances, where your rods connect to your bearings and all that other good stuff, if you apply sudden loads, thick oil is able to maintain that oil pressure well. But if you go too thick, then you end up losing a lot of power. So manufacturers, when they create their engines, they'll make certain tolerances, and to that tolerance spec, they'll create certain requirements for oil. BMW, for all the engines other than the M5's engine, recommend either 5W30 or 5W40. So you could use either. I, so far, am really liking Rotella T6 5W40. My engine runs a little bit quieter. I stopped hearing a bunch of weird noises and other stuff. It also helps a little bit with the Vanos rattle, which I'm getting, and I'll probably have to tackle that sometime this summer. So, just to be safe in the summer, I'm going to try this out. I am absolutely going to send this to Blackstone Lab Analysis when I am done with it. And I usually do an oil change every 5,000 miles, or if I don't get to that kind of mileage, then I change it twice a year. So check Rotella T6 out. It's got great reviews. I know it's diesel oil, but it works very well with my M62. Now, transmission and differential. For the differential, year-round, I run 75/90, either GL4 or GL5, and I usually use AMSOIL. Or I will probably try Redline MTL. Right now, in my transmission, I just put in AMSOIL 75/90, and this is the fluid I use during the summer. It is thicker, or on the thicker side, and it shifts well, suitable for high temperatures. In the winter, I obviously do not use windshield washer fluid in my transmission. This is where I store my Royal Purple Synchromax, which is basically automatic transmission fluid, so it's really thin, but it's designed for manual transmissions. I'm sure they have some additive packages in it and other good stuff to help protect gears, and it's really thin. It even smells like automatic transmission fluid, and yes, manual and automatic transmission fluids smell distinctly different, and they both smell atrocious, so you will definitely know which one is which when you smell it. And Royal Purple served me great when it was cold, like when it was 10 degrees outside. If I had this oil, you wouldn't be able to get into first or second gear at all until you drove for like 10 miles. With Royal Purple, I was barely able to get into second and third when it was cold, which is good enough for me. I didn't really want to go any thinner than that, and that's pretty much why I do what I do with oils. And if you're having trouble shifting in the winter, change to something thinner, but in the summer I recommend changes to something a little bit warmer, because your transmission, especially in the summer and when you're driving fast, it'll get really hot. And once the oil gets really hot, it can get thin. And you don't really want too thin oils, because you're not going to get that proper lubrication and protection for your gears. So that pretty much concludes it, and see you later, E39 source.